Hello everyone, welcome to the Overman channel where I discuss Little Nightmares theories, share my art, and more. Today, I want to discuss a theory I had in regards to the bullies in Little Nightmares 2 and where they might originate from. This theory is kinda speculative, so I hope you all bear with me. Due to some links between the lady on the Maw and the school, I believe that the bullies are actually former children who were transformed in a similar way to how the gnomes are made. This is a start to a series of theories I have in regards to magic of the nowhere and how souls work. In my next few videos, posted alongside the Cradle story as I try and write and upload those episodes, I will make theories in regards to the Shadow Kids and the glitching remains, the magic of the Lady and Thin Man, a theory on Shadow 6 and why she is so remarkable, and a theory on souls in the nowhere and how this realm is like a creature in and of itself that feeds on souls. One last thing in regards to the Cradle series, it will take a lot more time before those videos start to come out, as I really want to go all out for this series. I'm talking, I want to do more renders, more animations, I want to do some clay figures of my characters, I want to really make the viewer really make you feel as if you are in and experiencing the story. I think it's pretty cool, and I want to showcase what I am capable of when it comes to art stuffs. It will be a 6-part series. The first 5 parts, the first 5 videos exploring each chapter and the characters in that respective chapter in depth, and the 6th episode will be something truly special which I don't want to spoil, but keep an eye out. My little ramble over onto the theory. The school always struck me as redundant. A fake school with fake students. The Maw revolved around and lived off of the exploitation of children, and it seemed like 99% of the nowhere was based on this exploitation principle to some extent. Speaking of, the principle will be a big component of the series, just hear me out. It seemed to me like the school was shut off from the world and it didn't really serve a purpose or even fit into what I believe to be a major theme of Little Nightmares. Well, this thinking made me realize something. The school is not disconnected from this theme. In fact, it might be the most obvious showcase of these themes yet. The bullies clearly don't want to be in the school. They are rowdy, they fight, they break things, they light fires, and they all make messes. They're all a mess. But they aren't all mindless troublemakers. To some extent, they have a level of sentience. They choose to behave in the teacher's presence out of fear. Some bullies having their heads cracked open were perhaps examples that were made from this. Their rebellious nature is more nuanced than it seems. They killed the freaking lunch lady. They feel fear around the teacher, but were bold enough to kill the lunch lady. There's a difference in authority, and they recognize that. I do claim they killed the lunch lady because she is in the freezer. The easiest way for her to have died in this location would just be to get locked in and freeze to death. Nowhere residents act on their base instincts almost like robots, and I don't think her instincts as a lunch lady would get her killed while doing her job. She's not that stupid. It's a simple error I don't believe that she would have made. It seems clear it was just the bullies. They locked her in the freezer and she died. Speaking of the cafeteria lady, moving on from the idea that they made these decisions on who was a threat versus who was not, showing they have some capabilities of nuanced thought, we see in said cafeteria the children all being rowdy, but also all acting different. Some bullies are crying, some just making a mess, some even dancing. Bullies bully other bullies, some are mean, and some are victims. All of this to showcase further they have some level of individuality, some personality. They are all different, they feel fear, they seek vengeance. These are very human qualities, they are nuanced. This idea that they are human in a way, I believe is more real than we realize. I make the claim that the bullies are former children, and I have the key link to prove it. The lady from the Maw. She has the teacher's portrait in her residence, showing some connection. She has marble statues of what look like headless bullies and portraits of bullies alongside the teachers. I will go more in depth in this idea of the lady's magic in a future video, as I said at the beginning, but I believe the books we see in her residence are magic books. Books that taught her to hone in on her magical abilities even further. The 2 books with the mask taught her how to create the Shadow Kids. She could turn children into gnomes, so she already has abilities that turn children into other creatures. At the very least, this shows that it's a possibility that the bullies are former kids. Kids can turn into other things. It's possible at the very least. This idea that the lady has books, transferable information on how to turn kids into other things, and she has connections to the school, lead me to believe that she somehow gave magical books to be used at the school. These books contain knowledge on how to bullyify children who are misbehaving at the school, making them conform, proper, making them all look the same, but not fully act the same. Alright, we established the lady could be providing magic on how to transform children, but why don't we see anyone actually doing that? The teacher obviously can't, and she's the only person we see in the school. Quick side note, maybe these magic books gave the teacher her neck ability. It seems to defy all physics and logic. Maybe the lady's connections spread this magic and weirdness. If the teacher isn't a culprit, then who did it? Who transformed the bullies? The only other school faculty we know even exists that isn't the lunch lady. The principal. We never see him in-game, yes, but we see photos of him. So I'd say he at the very least exists. What do we know about him? According to a tweet from the official Little Nightmares Twitter, he's always stuffed away in his office. We see these weird stalks, or perhaps smoke, emanating from his head, and in the more clear picture of him, we see a bully right in front of him. It all makes sense now. In school, if you misbehave, you're sent to the office. In the Pale City School, the teacher sent misbehaving kids, or just any living child, to the office, where the principal would discipline you. Discipline as in turn you into a bully to make sure you behave, to make sure you conform. The lady provided these magical spell books, she herself having knowledge of children and to an extent taking care of them. She empathized with their Nowherean needs and sent a remedy. This magic now wielded by the unseen principal. Now that the city is all defunct, we see the aftermath. Every child turned into a bully. Only bullies and the teacher remaining. Those original children now trapped, left to rot in this oppressive school, slowly becoming more violent and eager to escape, not having an outlet for their rage. Them being fragile porcelain, they are trapped, left to rot, here, forever. This has been my theory. The Cascade to the Cradle story will take more time to really flesh out, so I'll be posting theory videos to keep you all entertained until then. I also really want to share these theories because the ideas I have about souls and the more general world of the nowhere with magic, I'm very confident in and I'm excited to share. This is a bit of a sneak peek into this idea of magic in the nowhere. Think of it like the tip of the iceberg. This is like a taste of that magical idea, but in future videos, I will be going a lot deeper. I feel like there's a very distinct separation between the soul and the physical body in the nowhere as opposed to the waking world, and I believe this distinction is what gives the nowhere life. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe, feel free to comment. I love reading the comments throughout the week. Every time I post a video, every time I read every comment, and a lot of the time, most of the time, it makes my day. It makes me happy. I appreciate seeing the feedback. I know I'm still relatively new, I'm still relatively unprofessional, I'm still figuring things out for, y'all on YouTube, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the engagement, I appreciate the support. Thank you for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed the theory, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.